welcome back to my channel. So today's video has been so highly requested. Wow, okay, I posted on my Instagram stories that I was able to hop into a Morphe store and I picked up some of the Jaclyn cosmetic products, and I only picked up 2 of them, but I asked if you guys wanted to see a review, and I was overwhelmed with the amount of responses and DMs that I got that you guys wanted to see these products, see my review on them, see me playing with them, swatching them, etc. Even though I don't have the full collection, I just decided to purchase 2 of the products. 2, not 4. 2 of the products. You guys still really wanted to see this anyway. So here we are. I'll just cut the chit chat right there, and if you guys would like to see my review of the Jaclyn Cosmetics products, then just keep on watching. So the other day, Josh and I were in Northern Virginia for work. We actually had a shoot up there, and I did a little research, and I saw that there was a Morphe store on our way back home. So I convinced Josh to let me stop so I could go feel and play with the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighting products. I was so excited when she launched these products. However, what I was not excited about was the price point of them. So I was a little hesitant in buying them, not because I think Jaclyn is going to make a bad product or anything like that. I know her whole lipstick scandal was a thing, but personally for me, when I buy makeup, especially when it's a new brand or something I haven't used before, I like to see other people's reviews and I like to see the product before I actually purchase it. So I just wasn't comfortable spending all that money, even though I knew the product was going to be good. I don't know, I wanted to feel it. I wanted to see what it was actually like. There were so many mixed reviews online. Overall, the general consensus was that the product is great. They were bomb highlighters, but I wanted to see it in person for myself and decide what I wanted to get because I couldn't afford the entire collection, so I just wanted to pick out like the products that I knew I was going to get the most out of. That's not to say I won't purchase all the other products in the future, but for now, this is what I decided to get. So anyway, hopping into the Morphe store real quick. First time ever going into Morphe. It was such a great experience. The display was beautiful. I was so overwhelmed by everything. I was like, oh my god, I need to like come up here more often, even though it's like an hour and a half away from me. But the 2 products that I decided to get were the Flash palette, which is the baked highlighter palette, and then I actually decided to get the Luminous powder. Now, this is a product that I feel like everyone's just kind of been like, meh, about. I don't know. There was something about this powder when she launched her products and when she made her YouTube video about it and when she was describing it. This is my kind of powder, if this makes sense. It reminds me a lot, and we're gonna get into this, of the Lancome Absolute powder that I got recommended from Jaclyn and have been using for years per her recommendation, and I love this powder. However, just based on like the initial swatch that I did in the store, it's different. I feel like it's one of those powders that is definitely like a glow from within. It's not a blinding highlight, and you can use it in several different ways. You can set your entire face with it, or you could use it more concentrated and have like a more like glow from within, but not super beaming, if that makes sense. So, okay, let's dive in and jump into the packaging and everything. So right off the bat, the unicorn and everything, I think it is so chic and so cute. Everything feels very high end. So it's not like she was pricing these at a higher price point and didn't follow through in other areas. This definitely feels like a luxury brand for sure. Definitely in that like Tom Ford, Marc Jacobs, Lancome, like that kind of range. Okay, so pulling out my receipt, the palette retails for $49, and then the Mood Light Luminous powder situation retailed for $32. Okay, what I will say is, like, after watching reviews and seeing everyone and seeing Jaclyn talk about it and all the things, the names are really confusing because it's like they're named one thing but then nicknamed something else. Like, for example, this is on here it just says Luminous powder, okay? Jaclyn Cosmetics Luminous powder in the shade Do Me. On nowhere else does it say like something else, like another name. But if I look at my receipt, the actual name of it is the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light. So I don't know why there's so many names. I think that that's like a little confusing. And same thing with the palette. Like, this just says Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics highlighter palette in the shade Flash, or like the set collection Flash or whatever it's called. But on the receipt it says the Accent Light palette, or the Accent Light highlight palette. I don't know, it's abbreviated. But you guys get what I'm saying. If you've watched reviews on this, you know what I'm talking about. I think the wording is just a little confusing. I just wish she would just like keep it simple and like call it one thing or like not. Okay, anyway, let's open these bad boys up. This packaging is so cute. I think it's so chic and so her. But I'm gonna point out the obvious. Hi, hello. Is this surprising? No, because a lot of cosmetic companies do use like the same type of component, and then they just obviously do their own branding with it. So like, am I super surprised by this? No, especially because like she raved about this product and like loves this product, and it's a similar product. So the packaging is essentially the same. Jaclyn put her own twist to it, but like it is what it is. I will say like right off the bat, like Jaclyn's feels better than this does. Like this feels a little bit more like cheap. I don't want to say that this is cheap because it doesn't feel cheap, but this definitely feels a little bit more oomph. It's got some weight to it. It could be because the product is full, but I don't know. I feel like powder doesn't really weigh that much to like give this much of a difference, but yeah, just right off the bat, obviously mine is dingy and gross, so we will ignore that. So super, super cute packaging. So we will start with this guy. I'm so excited. All right, so let's dump some into the cap. So the way I'm gonna use this product today is I'm gonna use it more as a concentrated like glow from within highlight. So with the Lancome powder, I do the same thing. Like I've used this to set my entire face, and I've used it also like as a concentrated highlight. It looks beautiful both ways. The best way to describe it is like a glow from within kind of powder, and I think that's exactly what this is. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this, I got the shade Do Me. I got the lightest in both of them because I am pale. So we have a little bit in our cap right there. So let me do a little swatch for you. I'll do it on my hand, clean bare hand. It feels very soft, very finely milled. And boom. Okay, so super hard to see on camera. Like you can kind of see, ooh, right there, you can kind of see like a little shimmer on my hand. However, in person and like with the light, it looks so radiant, but it's got like a smoothing effect. So again, like this is not like a blinding, beaming highlight like her other ones. This is definitely like I don't even know how I would like describe it. It's just a powder that you can use, and you can see it's still on my finger. It's like a little brighter there. It's just a powder that you can use in so many different ways, which is why I like the Lancome powder. I'm kind of curious to swatch this one right next to it to see. This is the Jaclyn one, and this is the Lancome. So right off the bat, you can see the Lancome like has more shine to it, if that makes sense, and it has like a more pigment, like in person this is like a more white overlay, whereas this one like truly melted into my skin and like just gives like a radiant appearance. Jaclyn's definitely seem to have like more of a blurring effect, and the Lancome one definitely has shimmer in it, whereas Jaclyn's doesn't really look like it has shimmer. It just looks like it has like a pearlescent kind of vibe going on. Okay, so I just want to read the description on Jaclyn's website of this product, just because I feel like this one is like the most misunderstood out of all the products. Like obviously like you have a highlighter palette, which is probably going to be bomb, and then the highlighter, the little one, which is like extra, but I feel like this one everyone was kind of like, what the heck is the purpose of this? Okay, so it says, bring out that inner glow with this magical luminous powder. Infused with diamond and rose quartz powders, this multi-purpose formula blurs imperfections, enhances your complexion, and delivers a radiant finish. Use it as a finishing powder all over the face to get that lit from within look, or apply to targeted areas for a soft highlight. Okay, so exactly like I was thinking it was gonna be, very like Lancome powder-esque. You guys get what I'm saying. Okay, let's put this on the skin. Just one last thing, this comes with 0.35 ounces, and the Lancome comes with 0.35 ounces as well, so standard. I'm going to take my JH09 brush. This is the brush I would normally use for powders like this, and I'm going to dip in, and we're just gonna apply this to, so I have my whole face done, just no highlight, no setting spray or anything like that. I'm just going to apply this to the skin. So you guys see that right off the bat. No highlight, just blush that has a little shimmer in it. Highlight. It's really pretty on the skin. It's definitely super soft. It's not anything crazy. It is exactly what I was expecting it to be, which I love. Again, it's just a super like soft, radiant powder. Like this is the kind of powder I think of when I think of bridal makeup in specific. Like this is that kind of like glow from within. It's not chunky, it's not shimmery, it's just radiant. It's beautiful. It does have kind of like a blurring, like a very soft blurring effect, which I personally love. And obviously if you didn't use a concentrated brush like this and you just wanted to like put this all over your face, you definitely could. However, I like to use powders like this in targeted areas because I think it looks so pretty. Like using this, if you were to take this and put this on like your bare skin, like just put moisturizer in your skin and then put this on, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. I do it all the time when I would do like my no makeup makeup. I don't know, I just feel like everyone was talking about this and they were swatching it and they're just kind of like, like whatever about this. But to me, this is such like a gorgeous product. I don't know. I feel like we're in a day and age with highlighters where if it's like, if it doesn't literally look like a diamond on your cheekbone and it's like reflecting light so crazy that you can't look at it, it's like, not impressive. No one really cares about it. But to me, I feel like a product like this is more impressive because of that formula and the developing that goes into it, and because it's so unique. Like highlighters are so overdone. I get their Jaclyn's thing and I'm so happy for her and proud of her for this launch, and I think it's perfect for her, but highlighters are overdone. Like it is what it is. It's very trendy and very popular in makeup right now, and I just feel like a formula like this, kind of like for makeup artists, you could use this in so many different ways. Like you could pop this on the lid to just give that like radiant kind of wet look. I don't know. I just feel like you could do so many things. I'm very curious too. Like I wonder if I were to put a little bit of setting spray, if this would brighten up a little bit. I'm sure it would, but I know that's not really the point of this, but let's just see. Oh yeah, that is so stinking pretty. Oh my gosh. Comparing the two, because I know, like in my head when she came out with this, I immediately thought of this. I was like, Jaclyn, like girl, are you trying to copy Lancome? Because I know you love that powder so much. They're similar, but they're different. Like she definitely perfected like what she wanted out of this into this. Like they're not the same, they're similar. If you've tried this or if you have this and you try this as well, like you'll know what I'm talking about. This one definitely has more shimmer in it and has that like powder cast, if that makes sense. Like almost like it's like I don't want to say this has more color in it because that's not right, but it has more like pearl or shimmer, or I don't know. I don't make cosmetics, so I don't know like what's exactly in this, but this is different than this. Like I feel like I would gravitate to this more to like go on my bare skin and then maybe put the Lancome on top. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it more, but I don't know. I wanted to highlight this product and talk about it and tell you guys why I purchased it, because I just felt like, as someone who likes a radiant look every time I do my makeup, I just really wanted to try this powder out. I thought the formula was really unique when I swatched it, and I don't know, I just wanted to try it out, and I feel like it's not getting the hype that it deserves, because look at this. Like this is gorgeous. Okay, moving on to probably one of the most popular items out of the collection, and that is the palette. This is a baked formula, which is also really unique. I feel like a lot of the highlighter formulas that we see out there are pressed, not baked. Now, when I opened this packaging up, I was really impressed with this. This is like hella luxury. So it comes in like a little cardboard situation, and you open it up, and then there it sits in like another cute little silver cardboard, and on top it says, "You're looking at an original. Your accent light highlighters are made using a proprietary filling process that creates unique, one-of-a-kind patterns in every pan. This is no ordinary highlighter palette. It's a work of art," which I think is really cool to include, like just saying like, hey, like yours might look different from other people's. It's just the way we formulate it. And then this is the palette itself. Really hard to see because I have a white backdrop, I'm wearing white, oh my gosh. This is beautiful. The packaging is stunning. This is a beefy palette though. Like that is a thick boy. Look at that. She is thick, but it is very heavy, is very luxurious feeling. The mirror in it, is so clear and so good. I think the only thing that I will say, and like I'm gonna nitpick like the shit out of this just because I only have 2 products and I need to make this video something, and I noticed this when I first opened this up and like held this in the store. I wish the mirror tilted back a little bit more. It only goes like that, and I don't know, when you're holding it, I feel like if you're dipping into the products, you kind of have to tilt the mirror down to see what you're doing. I don't know if this is normal for highlighting palettes. I honestly like don't have really any to compare it to. Like if I compare it to like a Skin Frost, like that goes all the way flat. So I don't know, just a thought. I do wish it bent back a little bit more so I didn't have to like bend it back to actually see myself. But these are the colors right here. So we have Gleam, Iced, Sparks, and Mesmerized. All beautiful shades. Gorgeous. You can see they all have different undertones. They're all very unique shades. When I looked at this palette, I felt like I was gonna get the most use out of this. This was the most expensive product out of the three, but I felt like because of the colors, because of the formula, because of everything, I was gonna get the most use out of this. And then we'll talk about the loose highlighter in a second that I decided not to purchase. Okay, so let's swatch these colors for you real quick. And the formula feels very soft but dry. Like it definitely feels like a baked formula. So this is the lightest shade, Gleam. Ooh, baby, that is like intense. All right, next we have Iced. Ooh, that is so stinking pretty. That highlight right there, you guys. This is like my favorite tone of life, of any cosmetic, of any powder. It's like this champagne silver, but it doesn't have gold in it. It's almost like a beigey tan, like nude color. I love it. All right, next we have Sparks, which is a really unique color. It's very yellow based. So that is very gold, pulls very gold. I'm trying to see if you can see like the color differences. I know it's hard with like all the beauty lights. So that pulls very like light yellow gold, which is also beautiful. And then last but not least, y'all, on tanner skin, like when I have a good tan in the summer, this shade, ooh, Mesmerized, like I know is gonna look so good. This is a peachy gold, so beautiful. Like as a blush topper, which I'll probably put on today, so gorgeous. I hope that you guys can see all of the colors really well. Obviously that's the lightest and probably the most blinding just because of the color alone. It's a very white silver highlight. So again, we have Gleam, Iced, Sparks, and Mesmerized. Beautiful, beautiful array. Like it really is a very unique and diverse palette, and I feel like anyone in the fair to medium skin tone range would be able to use this palette. Why I decided to wear a white sweatshirt when I was doing this, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna try to use as many of these as I can. Honestly, I'll probably just end up using them all. I wanna start with the shade Ice, just because how I talked about, like that is like my jam color-wise. Okay, there's definitely like a little fallout in the pan, as you can see right there. By the way, I am using a Morphe M451. This is brand new. I got this when I got the palette. Ooh, that is really pretty. So you can see the difference. This is the cheek that has the Accent Light palette on and the Luminous powder, and this is just the Luminous powder. Let's add a little bit of Mesmerized, which is the darkest shade in the palette. I want to put that on my cheeks a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. All right, on the next cheek, let's go in with Gleam, which is the lightest shade. This one definitely pulls a lot cooler and grayer because of the color of it. So like pale girls out there, yes to this highlight. It still looks beautiful. I like this color a little bit better, Ice. I think it matches a little bit more with my skin tone, but this color is so pretty. Like I would use this for like an inner corner highlight, brow bone highlight all the way. All right, let's do Sparks, just so we're trying out all of them. Oh, that's really pretty. So I'm very impressed with the formula. I'm kind of sitting here in silence, like looking at it, trying to explain this to you. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the other highlights that I'm used to using are very like sparkly and like glittery, if that makes sense. Like not that there's necessarily like flecks of glitter in it, but they look glittery. This is very much more like just lots of heavy pearl to it. Like it doesn't look chunky or like, I don't even know how to describe this. It's a very interesting formula. I don't think that I've used a formula like this. What I will say is that this formula like comes off and feels, this is not in a bad way, but it's very dry. Like because it's baked, it's a drier formula. Like recently I've been using my ColourPop Super Shock shadow, and that is like a very wet textured formula, if that makes sense. And this gives the same illusion of that. Like this looks very similar to this highlight, like as far as like how it kind of glides and melts in the skin, but it's a dry formula. Does that make sense? Like, am I making any sense with what I'm saying? I don't know. Just for shits and giggles, because why not, I'm going to take Iced again, and I'm going to take the smallest amount and spray it with a little bit of setting spray and see what that looks like on the cheek. Whoa, okay, yeah, you can definitely amp these. Oh my God, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. You can definitely amp these up if you want to. Holy guacamole. Look at that. When I'm using other highlights, I feel like I have to be very, very careful about where I put it, because if I put it in certain areas, like it just doesn't look right. It will like pick up on texture, or like will blend in with my blush and my contour and like not look good, and it'll start to look muddy. Like this, I feel like I could literally put this all over my face and it just looks beautiful. Like, I know I'm not doing the best job at describing this, but that's because I genuinely like don't know how to. Yeah, you guys, this is really good. I don't know how to describe it. Like, you need to touch it and feel it for yourself. But for me, as a makeup consumer and as a makeup lover, like this palette is worth the price to me. Like, I can see why. It's a very cool and unique formula. Like, I keep the word soft keeps wanting to come to my mind, even though it's not a soft highlight by any means. Like, that is blinding, but like the way it goes on the skin is very soft. It's not like you're putting on just like a strip of like shimmer or something like that. Like, it's very moldable. It melts into the skin. It blends in with everything. And I've been sitting here kind of like just wiggling my brush back and forth, like blending it, and it doesn't blend away. Like, it's staying on my cheeks really nicely. It doesn't look muddy. I just think the way that this like is all blending together looks really, really good. Now, at the end of the day, it's a highlight palette. So you can achieve a highlight with anything. You can go to the drugstore and achieve a highlighted look with drugstore products. So it's kind of like, take it with a grain of salt with what I'm saying. Like, if you love Jaclyn and you want to support her and you like buying luxury products, definitely try this out. I think that the baked formula is really cool. The packaging, she killed it. Like, for traveling, like I travel all the time, this will definitely be like what I take with me to travel, just because I have so many different options and I can use them for eyeshadows and highlighting like my brow bone and inner corner and things like that. But I think she killed it with this. Like, this is a really awesome palette. The only thing, like the only negative thing that I have to say is like, A, it's highlight, it's overdone, everyone does highlight, but also like it's Jaclyn, like what else is she gonna do? Highlights make so much sense for her. And then two, just the names, like that whole weird situation, like I wish they would be a little bit more clear about it, like either call it the Luminous powder or like whatever the fuck the name is. I don't even remember what it is. Like, you know, like the names are just a little confusing to me. So yeah, that is like my overall consensus of these two products. I genuinely really like them. When I swatched them in the stores, I was like, ooh, that's really cool. Like, the baked formula, like I said, really stood out to me. The way it felt, the way like it just swatched on my fingers and like glided and kind of like molded into my skin. And then this, I just felt like wasn't getting enough love. Like, when I swatched this initially, I was like, holy cow, like this is a really, really pretty formula. Like, why aren't people as excited about this? But, you know, you want the beaming highlight, like that's definitely not this, but I love it for other reasons. Okay, now the small loose highlighting powders. The reason I decided not to get that was because, not that I don't think that the formula is great, I just like, first of all, I couldn't afford the whole collection. I really want to pick two products that I just feel like I would get the most use out of, and I felt like I had things in my collections that were really bright that I could like get a highlight like that out of. And also too, I will say, now I haven't put it on my face, so like I'm not saying this for certain, but it reminded me a lot of like the Artist Couture highlights, and I am not a fan of these. And the reason I'm not a fan of these is because, as they are beautiful when you first touch them, they don't stay on your skin. Like, they fall away and they like wipe off really, really easily. And I don't know, I just kind of got that vibe. And also, when I swatched this shade Extra, which was the lightest one, which is the one that I was interested in, and it could have been the Morphe store, could have been the lights, I don't know. It gave like this weird reflect to me. Like, it was almost like it reflected a little like purpley green. And it was beautiful, don't get me wrong. It was hella intense and very, very shiny and glittery, but I'm just, I don't know, I'm not into a highlight like that. Like, I don't want something that intense. I prefer, like, this is already like really, really intense for me. Like, this is probably like where I would stop. I would maybe use that product like very, very sparingly, like on certain parts of my face or like even my eyes, but I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't ready to purchase it yet. Who's to say that in a couple of months like I won't purchase it? But for now, I just started with these products. Oh, I also want to talk about the brushes since I was able to touch and feel them. Okay, y'all, those brushes were so soft. I know she talked about like that it's a synthetic like new technology. Those brushes felt so good, and I was able to use them and like apply them with the product and things like that. They were really, really soft. Honestly, I would buy those brushes and I would use them pretty much how she designed them to go with the product. So maybe I will get those in the future. However, I just felt like they were overpriced, and I was like in a Morphe store where I can go get this brush for $6 versus like Jaclyn's, which was $20. Like, not to say it's not worth it, but like each to their own, I guess. I don't know. Alrighty guys, so that is my review of the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter collection. I know I'm missing one product, but you guys still really wanted to see this regardless, and these were the two that I picked up initially. These were the two that stood out to me the most, even though the other one was really blinding. Like I said, to each their own. To me, I just felt like I wasn't gonna get as much use as I would these two products, and I am really, really happy that I bought these. I think they are beautiful. Everything down from packaging, the unicarton, the actual formula itself, like everything about these I think is beautiful, and I'm really proud of Jaclyn. I had been a Hillster since day one. I freaking love Jaclyn Hill, and I am so excited for this launch, and I'm so happy it went so well for her, and there were no hiccups this time. So yeah, if you guys get a chance to like pop into a Morphe store, check these guys out, like touch them, feel them. They're really cool products, and I'm excited to be using them more in the future. Alrighty, you guys, so that wraps up this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And also, while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. If you would like to follow me on my social media, my Instagram and Twitter are both just @EricaMedlin. And yeah, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.